Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and in this video, I am on the test server. The time has finally arrived where the test server is live, and I can put out some content for you guys from the test server. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through. I can see that I've got the new champions on my account, like right here, but I have not looked at the kits yet. So we're going to go through live and give you my authentic reaction to how good I think these champions are, how bad I think they are, different abilities that stand out to me, and we'll just go through and kind of go over them together. So let's get into it. Alrighty, so like I said, we're on the test server right now. The way the test server works is they basically take our account. So you can see I've got my empowered battle up at the top and all the champions that I typically have, the double mountain king and the features of my account. What they do is they just take our account and then they add the new champions to it and some of the new features that are coming to the test server. So we can go through and just kind of see the champions that I don't recognize are obviously going to be the new champions, and I can go over them nice and quickly. So Yumiko is going to be the new Void Legendary. Now she is going to be the one that pairs with the fusion champion Kerato Fox Hunters. So let's go ahead and okay, A1 to each hit steals turn meter if the champion, okay, that's good. Each hit heals champion by 30% of damage inflicted. That's pretty meh because usually this isn't gonna hit very hard. Attack one enemy, 80% chance. You can book it. Uh-oh, they're going down the hex route. Okay, so it books to a 3-turn cooldown, 20%. So for 3 turns. Passive, whenever an enemy tries to place debuffs on either this champion or an ally, 50% chance of transferring those debuffs to a random enemy under a hex debuff placed by the champion. This happens before any debuffs are placed in the initial target. That's pretty solid. That's pretty good. We're finally getting some buff manipulation that's pretty consistent around hex, and it's not something like removes all hex debuffs or something. So that is actually pretty good. A 30% chance instead of a 55 against bosses. You can book it up to 75 or 50 respectively. Whenever someone fills the turn meter of an enemy under a hex placed by the champion, this champion's turn meter will be filled instead. Also, when Kerato Fox Hunter is on the same team. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty cool. I do like that they're finally getting hex in a cool name for an ability too, Destiny's Mirror. So yeah, I think this A2 is pretty cool. It's a fun way to kind of work around hex. Then we got an A3, decrease the cooldowns of all ally skills by 3 turns and increase the cool. Wow. That's ridiculous. This is gonna be one of the best abilities in the game. I mean, this is like a supercharged Kymar. Most abilities are 3-turn cooldowns. Decrease the cooldown of all ally skills by 3 turns. And increase the cooldown of all enemy skills by 3 turns. Will not decrease the cooldowns of this champion's other skills. That's insanity. I mean, okay, that's one of the best abilities in the game. You got like Kymar and Warlord in one champion. Yeah, that's okay. That's insanely good. This champion's gonna be definitely ridiculous. We've got a hex champion that will see some play here. I'm predicting that's way too good. I bet that gets adjusted at some point if I had to guess. The passive, place a perfect veil on this champion for 2 turns at the start of each round. Wow, okay, that's good. It's just passive ability. Champion is immune to all debuffs if under veil or perfect veil, so the AoE debuffs that didn't have to target them will not get placed. They're immune to them. Whenever veil or perfect veil is placed on an enemy, has a 75% chance of stealing the buff. This happens before the buff is placed, and then only available. So what's only available? Is the whole passive only available? Or is just that last part? Yeah, I guess I don't know exactly how that works. And then also, now this last part is probably because it's part of this paragraph. So this part, I mean, yeah, they will be a pretty cool combo. This Dance of Time ability is ridiculous. So okay, Yumiko is definitely going to be a very, very solid Void Legendary. And then for her base stats, does anything stand out? No, pretty par for the course. Pretty normal there on the base stats for Yumiko. Okay, so definitely going to be an S tier champion, no doubt about it. That just because of that A3, just because of the cooldown reduction and the increase in cooldown of the enemy team, right there, boom, that champion's gonna be S tier. The A3 is just way too ridiculous. So okay, we've got a new, probably the new, or the best Void legendary to be added to the game since Siphi. It's too early to tell if she'll be like better than Siphi. I don't think that really, but definitely the best Void legendary to be added to the game since Siphi. And who knows, I've been wrong before. Maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe I'm overestimating how crazy that A3 will be, and if I'm wrong, I'll happily admit I was wrong. But I think this champion's going to be really, really good. So, okay, let's go ahead and move on. And the next one we see is new here. It looks like Baragdar the Elder. Okay, very cool staff there. Okay, very nice. We've got an HP champion. So we've got a little HP brother here for Mountain King. The A1 attack one enemy of increased defense for 1 turn on the ally with the lowest HP. Will not be okay. Not bad. Remove 1 debuff from all allies, then place a shield on all allies for 2 turns equal to 20. Okay, so gonna be really, really good for Dwarf Faction Wars for any players out there that haven't finished Dwarf Faction Wars. When they get this guy, that's gonna be an insanely good ability on the A2 there for 3-starring content. Oh, increased resistance. I don't think we've seen that in Raid before. Wow, increased resistance and increased speed on all allies for 2. Woo! Yeah, in some of those like Duchess defensive compositions, increased resistance, get your Duchess up to like 900 resistance. Yeah, that's gonna be really, really good. Increased resistance, you gotta be careful with that because it's got potential to really break how the game plays right now. But okay, a new mechanic coming. Allies receive 10% less damage from champions whose res is lower or equal to theirs. Wow. So gonna make your champion, your high resistance champions like Duchess and Raglan and stuff like that even more tanky. So okay, yeah, I think this is cool. This will be another pretty solid champion with a new mechanic coming to Raid as well. And then we've got Kerato, the fusion champion that we've already went over. I think the general consensus among the community, he's going to be pretty solid. We didn't know if it's going to be like a B+ or an A minus because we don't know the base stats and the multipliers. Now we got an opportunity to kind of look at that. The HP is pretty normal for an attack champion. The base attack is super high at 1564. And everything else looks pretty par for the course. So I don't know his multiplier yet. We'll jump in and we'll do some, well, you know, I can't make this video 2 hours long, but over on stream or something, we'll jump in and start building this guy and test out how hard he hits. But the base stats, there's nothing like as a deterrent to him as a champion that's jumping out to me. It's not like he's got 1200 attack or 14k HP or something. His base defense is low. I wish that would be like 920 or something at least, but we'll have to see the multipliers before we can kind of grade him more. In terms of the books, so buff chance, yeah, we were thinking this would be about 10 to 20 buff chance. This would book to, we didn't know if it would book to a 3 or a 2. It is a single target, so there's a chance, but I doubted it would book to a 2 because it does have an ability to reset and kind of snowball with the extra turn here. So I was really going to be surprised if they'd made this a 2. So it is a 3, which is expected, and this is probably a 3 as well. No, it's going to be a 4. They're leaving it at a 4. It does book up to 100% chance, but they're leaving this at a 4-turn cooldown. So it's going to be 3... Or wait, it's going to be 4, 3, and default, but he does have an extra turn mechanic built in here. So this is kind of like a 3.5 cooldown. So, okay. Again, it comes down to we're just going to have to know his multipliers to grade him accurately. And then we've got the Archbishop Pithroy. Okay, this has got a lot going on aesthetically here. Very interesting, okay. And we're going to be getting a Sacred Order support. I want to transfer 1 random debuff from this champion on the target. 75% chance of stealing a random buff. That's pretty cool for an A1. Increase accuracy on all allies, then attack all enemies. 3-turn cooldown, place heal reduction on all enemies. Also a chance of placing block buffs on all enemies. Increase accuracy on your team and block buffs is very strong on a 3-turn cooldown. Champions from Demon Spawn, Undead, Knight Revenant cannot resist the heal reduction and the block buffs. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty solid. And then we've got the A3, heal all allies by 30% of their max HP, and then place increased defense on all allies for 2 turns if 4 or more allies are alive. Also, okay, so they're doing that so that it won't work in the arena. Obviously, you can't have a team of 5, so you can't have 4 or more. Well, how does this work? Does it include him in that? If 4 or more allies are alive, that's something I'd have to test to be sure. Because at first I was thinking it doesn't include him, so he would have to have 4 allies, which would make it only work in like Doom Tower and Faction Wars and Dungeons, and it wouldn't work in the arena. But I don't know. I don't want to act like I know for sure because I don't. I'd have to actually test that. Which, you know, these are the types of things that we can do on the test server while we're streaming and stuff. But anyway, gonna place a shield buff on each ally for 2 turns equal to 30. So he'll be best in teams where the whole team is high HP because his abilities scale off of their HP and not his on all the stuff that he's doing here. So okay, you know, those teams with like Battle Khazar, Mountain King, and stuff like that with high HP, he might be a nice complement there. Remove all decreased defense and weaken debuffs from this champion at the start of each turn. It's kind of a cool little passive. I almost would have liked it to just be the whole team. And make it one of them. Maybe like make it the whole team, but make it just remove all decreased defense debuffs from all allies at the start of the champion's turn. That would have been pretty cool. But okay, looks fun to test out anyway, and pretty solid. And this is definitely a new one. It says like a default here on the thing. Oh, it's because it's like a placeholder avatar. Obviously, this avatar is not this champion. So okay, they haven't come up with the avatar they're going to use for this champion yet. We've got Andrissia. Oh, a Void Legendary for the High Elves. Or wait, no, it's a Void Epic. Okay, yeah, we're into Epics now. Okay, Void Epic for the High Elves. Sorry. A1 placing a 30% decreased crit damage. She based off defense. Okay. Attack one enemy, 75% chance of placing a stun. If does not have any active buffs, that's a rough qualifier. 75% chance of placing a stun for 2. Oh, if they do have active buffs. Okay, that's pretty good then. AoE of decreasing duration of all enemy buffs by 2 turns. That's basically an AoE buff strip. Increase the duration of all increased defense buffs on all allies by 1 turn. Yeah, not bad. Passive at the start of each turn as it places a 50% ally protection buff for 2 turns on the ally with the lowest HP. Okay. Also on this champion. Okay, like as an epic, pretty solid. You know, maybe not the best epic in the game or anything, but yeah, I think pretty solid and really good for Faction Wars for High Elves, which High Elves is one of the easier ones. People don't tend to struggle with the High Elves. It's usually other factions, but okay, looks like an epic with some potential at least. And this is definitely a new champion. So we've got attack one enemy 2 times, 25% increase in the duration of a random debuff. That's pretty cool. I like that. One enemy 3 times, 40% of removing a random buff. So it's gonna be like a single target, but we do have a 4 turn. Oh, and we've got decreased resistance. So another. So we had increased resistance. Now we're getting decreased resistance. 50% of placing. Okay. I mean, that'll be cool because resistance manipulation is very, very rare. So just that alone will make this epic kind of worth having on your account, just to have that at your disposal. The passive inflicts 10% damage, whose res is lower than this champion's accuracy. Base of 0 is kind of rough. Some of the base stats are pretty low here. So more of a utility maybe, unless the multipliers are just insane. But yeah, what stands out is definitely the decreased resistance utility. And then we've got another new epic here, Sir Artemage. We want to be 2 times first hit, 40% placing decreased defense, second hit, decreased speed. That's going to be very, very good for the Fire Knight. And really any boss fight scenario, you're going to lower its defense and its speed on the A1. Very, very, very good ability there. Remove all debuffs from this champion, then attack all enemies. Pretty, okay. One enemy will ignore defense, increase in crit damage on this champion if it kills it. See, that's kind of crap. The A3, I knew it was going to be kind of crap because the A1 is pretty good here. And then we get speed in the arena. So, I mean, outside of the A1, he's kind of meh. I don't know how hard this hits. This would have to hit pretty hard, but it is a self-cleanse, which is nice. Yeah, I mean, the A1 is really good, which I knew some of this stuff wouldn't be because of that. But, okay, at least the A1 is really good on this champion. And then right here, we've got a new dwarf, all right. And then it's a decreased target's max HP by 10%. Okay, like a Scarab mechanic, built-in destroy set, more than 50%. Attack one enemy, 75. Fully depleting the target's turn meter. 4-turn cooldown, that's pretty good. Anytime you can fully deplete like that, fun ability to have. And then the A3, attack all enemies, fill the champion's turn meter 50% and heal by 15% of damage inflicted if critical. That's pretty solid. Remember, it is an epic champion. If this champion has 2 or fewer buffs at the start of a turn, increase attack and increase crit damage buff on this champion for 1 turn. Okay, so yeah, yeah, like interesting at least. Maybe not S tier, but should be a fun one. And is that all for the epics? It looks like it. This is definitely a new rare. We can kind of, this is kind of a cool looking lizard rare here, cage bound, cool concept for a champion. We'll go through the rares quickly. I'm sure we'll just try to see if there's anything like an apothecary or something. All enemies decrease attack, ally protection. Okay, so nothing super crazy there. Here's another rare. He does increase duration, which is good as a rare. Attack all enemies, block buffs for 2 turns. Yeah, this guy is pretty solid as a rare. Counterattack on this champion, also provoke on 2 random enemies. Yeah, definitely a good rare, probably a top 40 rare at least. Like you have to get in and sink your teeth into this stuff a little bit more, but having the increased duration on the A1 and a 2-turn block buffs on the on what faction is this, Banner Lords? Yeah, I mean, not as impactful as it would be in something like, you know, like Night Rev and Faction Wars or something when you're dealing with those Valkyries. But, yeah, definitely a very good rare. And then we got this one here for the Barbarians. Increase attack on this champion if critical. 1 enemy 2 times. All enemies. Oh, AoE. Increase cooldown on target skills by 2 turns. Again, that's a pretty impactful ability for a rare to have. Obviously, it's not consistent. It books to a 40%, but that's still pretty game-changing for like an early game account or something as a rare champion. And then Medicus. 1 enemy 2 times. That means we're gonna get a really good A2 or A3 probably if the A1 is this basic. Oh yeah, see, all enemies decrease speed, but it is the baby version, the 15%. Increase defense on all allies, also increase speed on this champion. So, I mean, as a rare, again, definitely an above average rare, decently solid here as a rare champion. And is that all of them? Did I miss anything? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we had a little bit 4, 5. Just make sure I didn't miss anything for you guys. 6, 7, and 8, 9, 10. 9, 10, 11, and then 12 was the first one we went over here, Yumiko, as the Void Lego. So that should be all of them. I believe there was 12 new champions. Yeah, pretty insane. They're actually releasing some really good ones here with this. We've got like resistance manipulation coming to the game, which is gonna change things a lot. We've got an insanely impactful Void Legendary, I think, in my opinion. I haven't listened to opinions of other creators or other players in the community. It's just kind of a first reaction, which is sometimes admittedly could be wrong, but I think this Dance of Time ability is going to be ridiculous. So, going to be the best Void Lego since Siffy, in my opinion. And again, if I'm wrong, I'll admit that I was wrong. Maybe she'll end up not seeing a lot of play and be kind of an average Void Lego, but I just don't see that with an ability like this. It has got to be insanely valuable to the game. But anyway, I'm gonna head on over to stream. So a little bit different of a daily video here. We'll go over all the stuff on the test server. I'll hang out with you guys and we'll chat about this stuff and we'll see about. I believe there's also new features like the I bet you the potions and stuff are here, or not the potions, but the brews. So increase level. Let me see how this works. If I go down here to brews, has that changed at all yet? Yeah, see, okay, let me move myself over and boom, so you can see. But yeah, look at the brews. So we've got, you could just select this and then slide it over. So, okay, super cool. But yeah, we'll hang out and we'll talk all about all this stuff. Pretty insane champions. Would love to know what you think down below as well. So, and if you would like to come over and hang out on stream, I will have that link down below in the pinned comment telling you whether I am live right now or not. So, have a great rest of your day, and thank you for watching. Peace.